Hey, it's me, Unapologetically T, and I wanted to come do this video about bloodlines and soul family. Literally, I kept getting messages like I need to do this video. It's personal to myself and my journey, and I'm sure that there are others out here experiencing the same things. Um, some communities you can kind of identify, like the LGBT community, like, having that concept of creating your own family units. And Black people, we have been doing it for ages. Culturally, it happens in America a lot. So I will say this. You can come from you can be born in a bloodline. I remember this being told to me. It's actually fucking comical right now. It was told to me. I was receiving my first ever Reiki session that I was aware of. And I literally, my teacher was like, you were born in your bloodline, like you came through your bloodline, but you're not of your bloodline. And I'm like, what the fuck? I understand what she's saying, like, because I always felt that way my whole entire fucking life. Like, I have, all jokes aside, like, this is not to downplay my lineage or my bloodline, but I just never felt like I belonged. My experience on Earth with my peers, I rarely would meet people that I felt like I belonged with. They were rare. It was a rare occurrence. Everybody else, it was just like, I'm tolerating you, you're tolerating me. Um, and, we're making the best out of connecting with each other um, physically. And so, literally, you can be born through your bloodline and not find many soul connections within that bloodline and also within your community. Um, I kind of equate it to, even though I can't really speak true to this because this hasn't been my experience physically in the third dimension, but I kind of equate it to if a person was adopted at birth and they were never told they were adopted, but all throughout their development, they just always felt like something's off. Like, I don't really align with these people. Like, that's kind of the feeling that, like, because I gotta say kind of because I don't know that experience fully. But that's the feeling that I have had my whole entire life. I would have rare occurrences where I would meet people who I literally immediately connected with. They felt like family. Didn't know how, didn't know why, didn't care. Just felt like home, felt safe. And it was, something nice, but they never lasted long. Those connections were very temporary in physical sense. I feel like some of those connections are literally everlasting. It doesn't matter how much distance or time you take from someone who literally, you have a bond with. I think of it like childhood friends. Um, there's two that, like, literally, I don't give a fuck how much time, distance, or space, like, there has been in that friendship. Literally, like, it feels like family. It feels like, the love is still there. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what has happened, how much we've developed, or none of that. Like, we haven't grown apart. And we do not speak to each other, see each other on a day-to-day basis, but the love is there. Um, a year-to-year basis. It's just like the love is there. And so those to me are like soul family. That's soul family. Is a connection. It's a bond. It is a contract that you made in the ethers, that you were going to be on each other's journey and each other's path, and spiritually, soulfully, you are going to, be beneficial to each other. It's going to be a beneficial exchange. Um, for me, family wise, familiar wise, like, It was complete chaos, distortion, inconsistencies all around across the board. And it felt like the family members that I did like relate to, there was always this separation. There was this separation, like as a child, like people that I know could have been a good role model to me and could have been um, influence on me, and literally could have shaped me and molded me in a different way. Different way. Literally, I do know like there was separation. It was not. It couldn't click. Like it wasn't meant to. Like I was never mistreated by them. It was just never a consistent thing physically. So like I'm saying again, once again, it was a soul connection, even within my bloodline, but like it was never something that remained physically. And so, literally, being born in this bloodline, a lot of us talk about generational curses, generational debt. There's generational wealth too. There is generational wealth, just like there's generational curses and debt. There's generational wealth and blessings. But a lot of us are born into these bloodlines to break those curses and break those debts. And sometimes we get attached to the vessels. You get attached to the titles of mother, father, cousin, sister, brother, and you lose your plot and you lose your way, trying to think that you can fix someone, or you can love them, love their problems away. You lose you, and you forget that you need to be fixing you and working on you from the damage that you have received by coming through this bloodline. um I also want to say, like, looking at it like bloodline, like DNA, all that stuff, like just like you have a genetic coding through your bloodline, you also have a spiritual coding. You have a spiritual genetic coding, and not everybody has the same. None of us have the same exact thing. Literally, it's like a fingerprint. So, your goal is to carefully curate, script, and program yourself to be the best version of yourself, which would be to be close to the Most High, God, your higher power, your higher self, however you view that. But that is your goal and your journey in life, is how do you get, you're already born pure and innocent and how God designed you to be. And then when you go through this life and come through this bloodline, the world kind of chips away at you. It's kind of like, I don't know if I talked about it in another video, but like you're born as a block, and then when the world gets you, it sculpts and molds you into what the fuck it wants to. The goal is to return back to the block, your blank slate, like how you were originally designed to be. And but to me, it seems like it's some, in an instance, is actually better. Like, it's character development, it is growth. You're not just a blank slate or a block. You're actually, something better, something old, something ancient, something new. It's like, that's what I be thinking about. I always say that to myself, like, I am something old, something ancient, something new. I always hear people talking about how they have reincarnated here, they've had past lives here. I associate a lot of my past lives to my actual past lives that I've lived through this lifetime. I don't really resonate with like being here before then. I do resonate with, I guess, like being a spiritual aid or a guide that way. But like, as far as physical incarnations here, I feel like this is my first time. This is my feelings. I'm still exploring. But this is like an inner knowing that I just feel like, yeah, bitch, this is your first time. You are wild and you are crazy. Like, literally, you like a baby to this. And you knew. And but saying that, it's like I still have been made from something old, something ancient, something new. That's how I kind of perceive it. And I have gotten to the point where, like, I used to be so uncomfortable talking about this stuff because, like, I think people think I'm crazy, but like, I have done so much inner work that, like, I really don't even care if you can't understand it. It doesn't mean that you're unintelligent. It doesn't mean that it just means that you're not on this realm of thinking, and that's okay. You're where you're supposed to be at, where you're supposed to be at it, and you got to be okay with that. And I got to be okay with being who the fuck I am, because I've always been this person with such deep thoughts and such inner knowings, and wasn't I would say secure enough in myself to express it. And I feel like I missed out on my people because of that. But I got to look at it like I missed out on nothing. Like, everything happened for a reason. Everything happened for a reason. I played my role, I played my part, and I did one hell of a job. Literally. And now, it's time for me to do one heavenly job. One heavenly job for myself, because I've sacrificed a lot, giving to others, and now it's time for me to give to myself, love myself. And I've been doing that. It has been a process of levels to it, and I'm proud of myself, because when you're not raised off real love, like, you don't know what love is. So it takes time to learn. You might know aspects of love. I don't think, you're going to be completely deficit of love altogether. But I think to get to a pure love, like, that isn't manipulative, that isn't, corrupt and twisted and abusive, like, you have a lot of work to do. And it's not easy all the time. You have to be dedicated and consistent. So when I think about it, like, anything else I've done in my life, I've been dedicated and consistent to doing that said thing, whether it was college, whether it was being in a relationship. Like, how much work we put into being in a relationship, being a mom, that's a relationship. Like, so having a romantic partnership, lots of work going to that. Being a mother, lots of work going to that. And so now I look at, like, when I was a student, lots of work, dedication, motivation, consistency, perseverance, determination went into that. I carry that same, what I put out into the world, I put that back into myself. And no matter what, fail, win, or whatever, I have to stick to this. And so, like, now I kind of get to, like, work on myself after all these years of, like, aiding others. And I'm proud of myself. Like, I really am proud of myself. Like, it's a journey for sure. It is really a journey. Everything that happened from the moment I was born here, incarnated here, like, literally has led me to here. The decisions I've made, for whatever reason I was making them, during the mindset that I had, has led me here. My spirit, my soul has led me here. Even when it was in its fractal pieces, it led me to this point. And I gotta give God and give thanks, just internally and externally. Like, literally, so many working parts to get me here. Like, this didn't happen just from me alone. It is so many working parts that comes to a whole. Like, we're all working together to help each other on this journey. It's just not how we were taught Western wise. A lot of that Western teaching, like, is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. And it is literally to keep capitalism and all that fucked up greed, oppression shit going. If we literally taught the real way to view life, so that it can be beautiful and it can be magical, and you can appreciate life, and you can love yourself and give love out, externally, and not feel depleted all the time and drained. Like, you literally have to unlearn Western ways. You have to unlearn Western ways. And the way bloodlines are recorded and documented, a lot of it is Western ideology. When you get down to the root of how you can see bloodlines done culturally, like through anthropology, a lot of it makes more sense. Like, a aunt is a mother. It should work that way. Your aunt should be your second mother. Like, your aunts are another mother. Like, it is a village. Your cousins is your sibling. Y'all supposed to treat each other with love and respect. Like, literally. And then you get farther and farther away from the lineage. Y'all all are still related, but you're maybe not close as you are to your closest bloodline. So it all worked out more logically when you look at indigenous cultures and native cultures. A lot of people tie indigenous and native to a phenotype, like, certain skin tones and hair. No, indigenous and native literally just mean the people who were native to that land, who were there first before others, migrated to that area, period. I'm not sorry to tell you, but black people have been all across this world since the beginning of times. We were here always. Um, from my inner knowing and what makes sense, even from the shit they tried to hide to us and the stuff that they talk about that they have found today. Literally, we started in Africa and we dispersed out. Pangea happened, and literally a lot of people were. I think of it like if you put a lot of people on one segment of land, different people gonna have different ways of doing things. Different people gonna want to explore. Different people gonna want to, some gonna want to stay. Some gonna want to, just be regular, like that. That diversity. Different people wanted to travel, explore, and that's how we got these different nations, and different people had different ways they wanted to do things. So, okay, I want to be my own sovereign being. I don't want to do it that way. You navigate and you go start your own family unit. We're all related when it boils down to being a human race. We're all related. You can be distantly related through bloodline, same spiritually. You have spiritual ties that are closer in relationship. You can look at it as relationship charges, like your actual frequency. You can look at it like that, wavelengths. Like, if you don't want to look at it as an actual, like, how they've made us view it westernly, all this stuff correlates. As above, so below. What's going on in the 3D realm? Well, it depends on the distortion too, because like spiritual 3D, it reflects, and it's levels to this shit. So when you think about that, you have to know that there's levels to this, because spiritually we're not bankrupt like we are here. It's working its way to that, though. It's working their way to that for those who are willing to put in that spiritual healing work, that inward work. If you've always been the underdog your whole life, if you've been the scapegoat of your family, if you've been the black sheep of your family, which is racist as fuck, but anyway, you've been the ugly duckling, and I ain't talking about the ugly duckling that literally got the nose job or the braces and forgot who the fuck they was. I'm talking about you, the OG ugly duckling that said fuck them people, even when they wanted to say you was ugly, you was like, shit, I'm pretty. Like, fuck y'all, I don't gotta fix shit about me. That's something wrong with you. And literally, you stay true to yourself. I don't mean the ones who lost themselves away along the way and don't even want to find themselves. They are complacent to where they're at. I'm talking about you who have put that work in since the beginning of time that you were here. And nothing ever seemed like it shook for you. Nothing ever seemed like it was shake. Like, it's coming. Stay faithful. Trust God. Like, literally, it's coming. To me, it's not the physical things for me. I don't get caught up on the physical a lot. Like, I'm human. Yes, I like things sometimes, and yes, things make my life a lot more enjoyable here, comfortable here. However, for me, it's always been an internal healing that I always knew I needed. Like, I always do since I was a little girl. Like, this shit is not right. And I am so grateful and fortunate that, like, I'm getting reconnected with myself, reconnected with God on such a grand level. Like, I'm beyond thankful. Like, I am beyond thankful. Things have been happening, and it's just the difference. Like, I can just tell, like, I can tell a shift and a change in myself. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm grateful to God for the growth. I'm grateful to myself for finally, like, getting out of my own way. um I value relationships not based on bloodline. um I feel like when you start to put, it's like a pedestal kind of, like when you start to weigh one over another, I think that's when evil can get you. I have learned now that, like, literally, it for me, it's strictly, of course, you got to take care of your family first, but at the moment where your family trying to bring you down, you got to cut ties. You got to cut ties energetically and physically, and it's a process. It's a process for those of us who have been attached for years. I kind of think of it as in, if trying to think, because it's kind of like I was thinking about this to myself, like, why can't we just detached all the time, like with the switch of a button? Some things we can and some things we can't. But I kind of think of, like, in this physical realm, if you were, it's kind I don't know the exact example is leaving me, but I can give kind of like a mental example. If you can see it, you can see it. If you can't, I'm sorry. Because it's kind of like I had a perfect example, but it did left me. And maybe that's because it's not meant for everybody. But I think of it like, if I could use this as an example. If you were out in the cold and you got, like, a frostbite, and not the extreme frostbite where you're about to lose your limb, but you got frostbite where you're starting to feel nerve damage, and you're very cold, so you might be even borderline getting to hypothermia. um you are not supposed to elevate that temperature very quickly. I remember this as a child, like being outside in the snow playing. We couldn't go and wash our hands with the hot water. That is your first instinct. I need hot. I need hot. I need the temperature road. So you want the warm water, when actually you're supposed to use, like, literally a cold to almost warm water to kind of get your hands unthawed, or you cause even worse damage. And I think of that, and sometimes when we want quick fix of being completely detached from things that we've been doing all our lives. For me, my conditioning started from the very beginning. So it's a process to get to the point of, like, literally this point. To just detach all at once, I might would have detached from those physical beings, but the spirit wise would have kept finding me. That spirit attachment would have kept finding me until I actually do the inner work and adjust and literally enter and understand that, like, literally, nah, this is not what I need for me. And I kind of think of it like that with the hypothermia. You have to raise your core temperature gradually. With spirit attachments that have been for a long time, some people call them strongholds. You literally have to trust the process, and you got to you have to have a faith in a higher power. um and so literally, yeah, I had a lot of strongholds, but my number one stronghold was the spirit. It was a spirit attached to my mother, and boy, it had me. It had me. It really, really had me. I trust God in this processing, so I literally have been trusting the process, trusting the process, trusting the process. I mean, even gonna try to get to you in things that it can. If you have a spouse, it'll try to get to you and your spouse. If you have children, it'll try to get to you and the motherfucking kid. I think we just have a little more patience and grace with the children, but god damn. Woo. But I thank God though. Like, I thank God. Mine is like, she good to go. She good to go. We done had some moments, and we probably gonna have some more. And literally, though, I know she's God. That's God's child. Touching not God's anointed. Literally. Yeah, if you put people on a pedestal and you don't put God first, I don't even put God on a pedestal. God is just first. Like, God is the all to be all. And so it's not that toxic pedestal like thing that other people do. I feel like try to do with God, not for me. It's more of like God is within me, God is around me, God is above, below, all it. I'm covered in all realms of existence, and my faith and my trust has strengthened. My love for God and myself has strengthened, and that's how I kind of look at it. But like, I don't put the blood lines or the titles and positions on a pedestal anymore. I feel like we are human. We are in these vessels. And if you do not have control or regulation over your own vessel, then there are entities that will flow through you that will harm you. It will harm you through self-destructive behavior, self-sabotage, and then it would also try to harm others close to you or that it can get to. Um, there are a lot of us who were stopping it from hurting others mostly. And that's not to say that we didn't still hurt other people, but mostly we were stopping it from hurting others, but we were internalizing it and hurting ourselves, and causing a lot of destruction and damage to our own selves, self-sabotage, all that stuff. And I pray for us that we continue to heal. A lot of us keep yelling unity, but if we try to unite and we haven't healed, we're going to tear each other down. And so we have to heal from Western ideologies and Western ways. We have to find those frequencies and those wavelengths that are closer to ours. Is not just bloodline. You can find them in your bloodline. You can actually hit the jackpot and find a soul family in your bloodline. Click tight, unity, great, everybody on the same page, they know what time it is, they, like, they own it. But some of us are not so fucking lucky, and I mean, we still blessed, but it's a harder road, and in that sense. And for those of you who were not born off love, but you had love in your heart, I literally say keep healing yourself. You will find your village or your tribe, spiritually, soulfully. You will find them. They will find you. It will happen in so many just serendipitous ways that you will know. You will know that, like, literally you were meant to be in connection with each other. Yeah, attachment. We got to say goodbye to attachments. Loving each other and attachment styles. Like, literally, we got to say goodbye to that. It's got to be connection. And we got to really, really realize, like, if you are incapable of loving yourself, you are incapable of loving anybody else long term. And I say long term because in spurts, you could be like the best loving and showing up for everybody else. But eventually, if it's a long term relationship, like, you're going to end up really hurting that other person or people. I seen it done with my child, and all that stuff. So, like, literally, I am changing so many behaviors, so many ideologies. My mindset has been changing, and I thank God for that. I thank God for that. Y'all seen how it was a couple of years ago. I've even grown, past a couple of years ago. So I'm proud of myself. It's a work in progress, and I do not aim to be perfect. So, baby, today I could be, got it going on, got it going on, and that's one of my goals is stability. Being able to maintain, knowing what I know and applying what I know for my best benefit. It's a process. It's a process, and I don't push perfection. I feel like the moment you push perfection on us as beings, you literally screw us up. We're gonna have some type of fallacy to someone, and even ourselves. We're going to have some type of fallacy there, and literally we got to be okay with being perfectly imperfect. Like, you are you. You'll never be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. But what you don't need to be is abusive. What you don't need to be is greedy to the point of overconsumption and robbing others, or like literally destroying yourself within. That's all greed does. It literally does that. We don't have to be oppressive where we literally are oppressing each other. A lot of people find it cringe that a lot of people are sharing, their personal business online. Like, everything is online. Ain't nothing sacred no more. And to me, I feel like that's freeing in itself. A lot of people hide publicly what the fuck is going on, and it's like, you do that because you fear shame and guilt. You fear people scrutinizing you and looking at you. Well, literally, that could be your saving grace. That could literally be your saving grace. So, like, literally, to change, it could be a catalyst to change for you. I mean, whether you tell it outside on the mountaintop or you deal with it by yourself, you still are going to be going through that said thing. Like, the circumstances doesn't change. So I be finding that, like, I think that literally causes a lot of issues with people who were born in survival mode, who are trying to shift and change. Like, let them people show you who the fuck they is. Like, let them show you who they is and where they at. Use that shit as teachable moments, not to judge, not to alienate. No, you do not need to deal with. This is one of the ones that I've learned, and I've been learning it all along, but I'm learning it on so many different levels. Like, you can literally love somebody and say, hey, look, like, you're not in alignment with me, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my peace to deal with what the fuck you got going on. I love you. I'll pray for you. But, like, you gonna have to sit outside. Like, you gonna have to be wherever you is. And when you get yourself together, like, you can come back. Like, you can come back over this way. So, sometimes that literally could save, relationships with certain people, instead of trying to force your ways onto them and they're not ready for it yet. Like, allow people to sit it out. Allow them to sit it out. Let them to be in timeout or whatever they choose to do with that. If they choose to get themselves together, that is up to par for them. Because that's another thing. Like, sometimes, what the fuck, the level of healing and the level of awareness and happiness and stability you have found for you is misery for someone else. So, like, you literally got to be okay with, accepting people for where they are, and saying, hey, look, like, that ain't in alignment with me. And you also got to be okay with, like, really extremely cutting people the fuck off, like taking a sword and saying, hey, done. It's a wrap. Never again. Not for you, not for that spirit, not for that vessel, like, nothing. Like, none of y'all. Like, I'm done. Hey, you got to. So yeah, like, this bloodline stuff is you're literally born. Your mother is a portal for you to come into this world, and Earth is a portal. But literally, your mother is a portal for you to come into this world, and your father planted the seed. How you choose to come out of the situations and the scenarios and the environments you are birthed into is fucked up, but it's ultimately up to you in the long run. And I said it's fucked up because I really don't feel like nobody should be having to go through some of these extreme cases of abuses. Not some. All of these extreme cases of abuses that me, myself, and others can discuss. It's literally like, I don't even feel like nobody should be having to go through this shit going forward. Like, that shit is sick. That shit is sick. That shit is sick. This earth is not a bad place. Evil is. Evil has literally turned this turn this shit inside out, and we here to fix that. Internally, when we heal ourselves, when we strengthen ourselves, when we call our power back, when we say no to evil, when we heal the things inside us that makes us not vulnerable to evil, um, and doesn't allow evil to operate around us, that's the answer. Yes, physical war, yes, physical retaliation is imperative for a physical threat. But when it comes to the spiritual, soulful, even down to us eating and all that stuff, like all this warfare that is being thrown at us, chemical warfare, biological warfare, you have to go within. You have to start making better decisions for yourself. It takes time. Definitely, if you've been living in fucked up conditioning for multiple years, it takes time. Give yourself love, grace, and kindness. Just don't give up. If you don't give up, you keep going. Each day is new. Keep going. Keep trying. You'll eventually get to the mindset that is desirable and best for you. That stability. I've been craving stability all my life. All my life has been polarized. It's been polarized. It's been polarized. I remember when Tay first met me, he was like, man, it's black and white. It's black and white for you. It's black and white. You know, there's some gray scales in there somewhere. And it wasn't that I didn't have gray scales in there. It was just that, like, literally the people that raised me and brought me, it was just like, it's this or that. It's this or that. It was never any in-betweens and fine-tuning and being myself, and like literally, you know, I'm all things. Like literally I can be this or that, or I could be the things in between that, like, and just being able to be myself and find my own balance. And I thank God for, you know, the grace, the mercy, the love, the patience. God, you have been patient with me when I had no patience at all. And I ain't gonna say at all, but in certain areas, I was in a severe deficit of patience and understanding the importance of waiting. And I'm still learning, y'all. Like, I don't have all this figured out, besides the point that I'm gonna trust God. I'm gonna trust. That's what I do got figured out. I'm gonna trust God. I'm gonna trust God. If my head cut off and I still can speak, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to speak. I ain't going to look God like I thought we weren't supposed to be able to talk about it. I'm going to talk. I'm going to say whatever the fuck God got me to say. Like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to trust God. Like, I got that figured out. And I feel like with that tool, I'm going to end this video, because literally, before you were a human in this vessel, you were a soul. You were a part of a spirit. Like, you were a part to a whole. And you chose to come here. You chose to come here. They say, why would you sign up for this shit? But you can't control who gonna make what decisions. Some of this stuff, yes, you was aware of happening, but some of this stuff is literally a wild card for you. You are a wild card for someone else. We're constantly making decisions and choices and altering our state of being and our realities. We're altering these dimensions. And literally, once you get to a point in your life where you want the best for yourself and the best for others, that's a sweet spot. And it all depends on what you want out of life. For me, I always wanted world peace as a little girl. It had nothing to do about that pageantry shit. I literally, wholeheartedly, in my deepest heart, wanted world peace. I used to mourn and cry for disenfranchised people, including myself. And I just always felt this immense pain on this planet. Literally, I just wanted peace for all of us. So saying that, if I want peace for all of us, I literally have to be a peaceful place for myself. And I'm learning and I'm growing. And I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God for my bloodline. Even the ones that ain't get it right. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Even for the most cowardice, most selloutest one, you know, it still took them for me to get here. And so I'm going to give thanks for that. at least you survived. You did whatever the fuck you had to do to survive. And, I'm not your judge on that one. But all I can say is I give thanks for your participation of all that came before me. Um, I think when you start to grow and you start to just learn how easy it is to fall short and how easy it is to lose your way, like, um, you can give thanks to those who came before you now that they are gone. Um, however, 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 I honor and I want to give honor. I want to honor, and I always do, but I want to honor those ancestors who were worthy, who stayed true to themselves and stayed true on their path. Um, give so much thanks, and I give praise to y'all. Like, y'all literally deserve the utmost praise and accolades for what you did right. We reward too much negative shit. I ain't gonna even say negative. We reward too much shit that shouldn't be rewarded, and we need to reward and shed light on those who came before us and those who are still here, who are literally, doing what it takes to make this world a better place. And so, yeah, I'm gonna end there. I'm gonna put God first and first God, like, nothing above that, nothing above that. So, like, literally, you know, we'll be rocking and rolling from here on out. Thank you, God. Thank you to my ancestors and my spirit squad.